I have a career for over 3 decades talking about people, and now I'm being talked about. Get the out of here.
A Lifetime original documentary.
You lean in when you're watching her. What happened? Tell me.
I do hot topics. I don't live hot topics.
She could forgive an affair, but an affair with a baby, that's it.
This is the culmination of
Wendy Williams slammed Meghan Markle and said she was Team Thomas when it comes to her relationship with her estranged father. The daytime talk show host insisted the Duchess will regret cutting off her dad Thomas from his grandchildren. Wendy said of Thomas talking to the press because he can't reach his daughter. I'm Team Thomas on this particular thing. He's an old man. He's apparently not well. He goes in and out of swollen ankles. He doesn't look spry at 76. He's got 2 grandchildren that he's never met. Meghan does not have to accept him all the way in her family, but maybe a little hideout one day in Malibu, and invite him over with no press involved. And maybe have him play with the grandchildren and have some scones, and then send him on his way. I just feel like at his age, and all he's been through in life. She added, how about maybe he just wants to hug his daughter and see his grandchildren? If Harry doesn't want to be involved, fine, but if something detrimental happens to this man, she will regret it. Thomas appeared on Good Morning Britain today as the 76-year-old pushed back at his daughter after she accused him of betraying her in her explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey. Thomas said, I also feel that she let me down. I was in a hospital bed the last time we talked. They didn't care if I died. He said he was in and out of the hospital for his heart condition, but he claimed his daughter and her husband never called him. Thomas went on, I never heard from them again. I had a stent in here and a stent in here. And that's when we talked. I haven't heard from them since. In her candid interview with Oprah, the Duchess of Sussex opened up about her relationship with her dad and said she was left feeling crushed when he lied to her. Thomas went on to speak of his regret at staging paparazzi photographs ahead of his daughter's wedding. Meghan was asked if it felt like a betrayal when she found out her dad was working with the press and replied, I'm trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that. It was if we were going to use the word betrayal. Thomas further told Good Morning Britain that he said sorry to Meghan and Harry 100 times but claims they have ghosted him and won't accept his apology. He told GMB, I'm very disappointed about it. I've apologized about this thing at least 100 times. The bottom line is I've never heard back from Meghan and Harry in any way, shape, or form. I would love to hear from them. The outspoken talk show host doesn't hold back, blasting the Duchess of Sussex for shutting out Thomas Markle and predicting a future filled with regret. Wendy Williams has never been one to bite her tongue, and this time, she's taking aim at Meghan Markle. The fiery media personality didn't mince words in a recent segment of The Wendy Williams Show, where she slammed the Duchess of Sussex for estranging her father, Thomas Markle, and denying him a relationship with her children, Archie and Lilibet. Family is everything, and Meghan is making a huge mistake, Wendy declared, shaking her head in disapproval. One day, she's gonna look back and regret freezing out her dad. Mark my words. The feud that won't fade. The rift between Meghan and her father has been public and messy since before her 2018 wedding to Prince Harry. Thomas Markle, a retired lighting director, was set to walk his daughter down the aisle but withdrew after suffering a heart attack. Then came the scandal of his staged paparazzi photos, followed by a series of explosive interviews where he criticized the royal family and his daughter's choices. Meghan, hurt and humiliated, cut ties. But Wendy argues that no matter what went down, blood should prevail. Yeah, he messed up. He did some dumb stuff for money and attention. But that's her father, Wendy argued. You don't just throw people away because they embarrass you. Life is long, and one day, those kids are going to ask about their granddad. What's she going to say? What about the kids? Wendy's biggest issue? The effect on Archie and Lilibet. Those children deserve to know their grandfather, she insisted. Meghan had a whole life before Harry, before the Palaces and the tiaras. Thomas was there for her when she was just a girl. You think he wasn't proud? You think he didn't love her? She also pointed out the hypocrisy in Meghan's family values, given how much the Duchess has championed compassion and reconciliation in her public work. She talks about healing and forgiveness, but where's that energy for her own family? Wendy questioned. You can't preach love and then shut out the man who raised you. The royal double standard? Wendy didn't stop there. She also called out what she sees as a double standard in how Meghan treats her own family versus the royal family. She's quick to talk about how the royals didn't protect her, how they let her down, Wendy said. But her dad? She won't even give him a phone call. At least the royals tried to make it work. Thomas never got that chance. She even speculated that Meghan's frosty relationship with her dad might be influencing Prince Harry's own estrangement from his family. Harry used to be close to his dad and brother. Now, nothing. Coincidence? I don't think so, Wendy mused. Meghan's all about chosen family, but sometimes you gotta deal with the one you've got. Will Meghan ever reconcile? Wendy's prediction? Eventually, but it might be too late. When those kids grow up and start asking questions, Meghan's gonna have to face the truth, she said. And by then, Thomas might not be around. That's the real tragedy. She urged Meghan to reconsider before it's too late. Pick up the phone, girl. Life's too short for this mess. Public reaction. Divided as always. As expected, Wendy's comments have sparked fierce debate. Supporters of Meghan argue that Thomas Markle's repeated media appearances, often criticizing his daughter, make him untrustworthy. He's sold her out for cash. Why should she let him near her kids? One Twitter user fired back. But others agree with Wendy, believing family bonds should outweigh past mistakes. Everyone deserves a second chance, especially parents. Another comment read, Meghan's being too harsh. The bigger question, can this family heal? At the heart of Wendy's rant is a deeper question about forgiveness and family. In Hollywood and royalty alike, feuds are common, but few are as public and painful as this one. Will Meghan ever reopen the door to her father? Only time will tell. But if Wendy Williams is right, the Duchess may one day regret keeping it closed. Pride comes before the fall, Wendy warned. And cutting off your own dad? That's a whole lot of pride. Wendy Williams shaded her guest and Tiger Woods' former mistress, Rachel Uchitel, on today's show. The daytime talk show host pressed Rachel on her affairs with married men during a tense interview. During what began as an awkward interview, Rachel told Wendy it was difficult being constantly talked about in the press during her affair with Tiger Woods because she didn't have control over the narrative and people weren't saying positive things about her. But Wendy responded, well, affairs with married men aren't positive things. Wendy later asked Rachel if she loved Tiger, and she responded she had a deep connection with him. Wendy retorted, that would be a no. Wendy filed for divorce from her husband, Kevin Hunter, after more than 20 years of marriage because he allegedly fathered a child named Journey with Sharona Hudson. Since then, Wendy has begun dating again, and last month she played a dating game and chose to go out with Mike Esterman, who Rachel happens to know. Rachel said, I've known Mike for maybe 15 years. I know Mike through Mario Lopez. When I ran Town nightclub, he used to have a lot of clients come in, and I would take care of them. He's a great, wonderful guy. And he texted me and said he had a wonderful time with you, and he likes you for you, and not the Wendy that you see on camera. Earlier this week, Wendy also shared how she hit it off with Mike on her first date. I like him. I really, really like Mike. He's so nice. He's such a gentleman. He's so respectful. I really like him. Rachel recently became a spokesperson for a sugar daddy website called Seeking Arrangement, which ensures sugar babies and sugar daddies, or mamas both, get what they want when they want it. Rachel's post read, yes, it's true. I am happy to announce that I've been appointed as the first ever Seeking Arrangement spokesperson. I'm ready to shed some light on the misconceptions of online dating and how rewarding these upfront and honest relationships can be. I am so excited to be joining forces with the world's largest elite dating site. It's important to me to share how empowering online dating can be, and Seeking is the perfect site to make that connection. Online dating has never been as popular as it is right now, with traditional social gatherings hard to come by in the new normal. I look forward to helping you find what it is that you are seeking. Zoxo. Rachel and Tiger had an affair in 2009. Tiger was married to Ellen Nordegren, with who he shares 2 kids, Sam and Charlie. Tiger, 45, and Ellen, 41, split in 2010 in a reported $100 million divorce after 6 years of marriage. Wendy Williams has never been one to hold back, and her latest interview with Rachel Uchitel, one of the women at the center of the Tiger Woods cheating scandal, was no exception. The conversation quickly turned tense as Wendy didn't shy away from grilling Uchitel about her past relationships with married men, leading to some seriously awkward moments. The interview starts off ice cold. From the moment Rachel Uchitel sat down on the Wendy Williams show, the energy was off. Wendy, known for her no-nonsense approach, wasted no time diving into the elephant in the room, Uchitel's infamous affair with Tiger Woods, which blew up in 2009 and became one of the biggest celebrity scandals of the decade. Wendy: so, Rachel, it's been over a decade since the whole Tiger Woods situation. How's life been treating you since then? Rachel, clearly bracing herself, responded with a tight smile. Rachel: life's been good. I've moved on, I have a daughter now, and I'm focused on my family and my career. But Wendy wasn't about to let her off that easy. Wendy brings up the past, and Rachel gets defensive. Wendy, smirking, leaned in and asked, Wendy, but Rachel, let's be real, you were known for dating married men before Tiger. There were rumors about other athletes, powerful men. What do you say to people who call you a mistress? The audience gasped. Rachel's face tightened. Rachel, that's a really unfair label. People don't know the full story. Relationships are complicated. Wendy, laughing, oh, honey, they're only complicated when someone's married. Let's not act like you didn't know what you were doing.
Ouch.
Rachel fires back, but Wendy isn't backing down. Rachel, clearly frustrated, shot back. Rachel, Wendy, with all due respect, you've had your own messy relationships. It's easy to judge when you're not in the situation. The audience owed. Was Rachel really coming for Wendy? Wendy, smirking. Oh, so now we're deflecting? Sweetheart, my relationships might be messy, but at least I wasn't sneaking around with married men. There's a difference. The tension was thick. Wendy drops the mic. You knew what you were doing. Wendy, never one to let a guest have the last word, went in for the kill. Wendy: look, Rachel, let's keep it real. You were a grown woman. Tiger was married. You knew. The wives knew. Everyone knew. So why play the victim now? Rachel, visibly flustered, tried to pivot. Rachel: I've taken accountability, but it's not just on me. It takes 2. Wendy, rolling her eyes, sure. But one of those 2 was wearing a wedding ring. The audience erupted in mixed reactions, some cheering Wendy on, others uncomfortable with the directness. The aftermath. Social media reacts. Unsurprisingly, the interview went viral almost instantly. Twitter had a field day. Wendy just ended Rachel's whole career in 5 minutes. Rachel thought she could sit on that couch and not get read. Wrong. Okay, but Wendy was kinda harsh. Rachel's moved on. Why drag her? Meanwhile, Rachel later tweeted, some people love to live in the past. I'm focused on my future. Wendy, of course, clapped back on her show the next day. If you don't want to talk about the past, maybe don't come on my show. Just saying. Final thoughts. Was Wendy too harsh? Love her or hate her, Wendy Williams has built her brand on being unfiltered. This interview was no different. She went straight for the jugular, and Rachel Uchitel clearly wasn't prepared for the heat. But was it fair? Some argue that Rachel has paid her dues and deserves to move on. Others believe that if she's going to sit on a talk show couch, she should be ready to face the hard questions. Either way, one thing's for sure. Wendy Williams still reigns as the queen of messy, must-watch TV.